and typically what we do at the beginning of these meetings is go around and have everyone, say your name, say your child's name, which could be a little clunky on Zoom, but we figure we'll give everybody a few minutes grace to get in here. So maybe we'll do that to anybody who's here and wants to be heard and possibly seen. No pressure. But if you're here and you want to introduce yourself, please do.
All right, I'll go next. I'm Kate Kaufman, Ann's co-chair, and I have a daughter, Lucy, in the Whales, and a son, Ben, in the Owls. And thank you for coming tonight. We're glad to see you all.
Anybody else out there?
Hi. Oh.
I can't tell if I'm muted or not, but hello everyone. Oh, we're supposed to introduce ourselves. Sorry. I'm Lauren Kernia. I have a Bunny and and Bunny and JD.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Small, and I have Jackson Small, who's a kindergartner, and Callie, who I'm hoping to get into school soon.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Casey.
I'm Jonas.
We're the parents of Louis Catala. He is in the Lambs class. So he got to go one day when was that? Many weeks ago. So he's been there one day, and we are.
And he's excited to go back.
And we're excited. He's excited to go back.
Great, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Susan Bergathon, and I am not showing you video because I'm sparing you all. But and I'm here with my husband Ross, and we have a daughter in the Owls class. Her name is Ridley. She's loving Glenn.
I'm Kim Perrins. I've got Annabelle in the Owls and Oliver in the Bunnies, and Annabelle and Ridley are big friends. Thrilled to.
I actually just got really excited and was like, oh my God, I'm going to message her privately immediately. Yeah.
Immediately.
Hi, if y'all can hear me, I'm Jessica Poole. My son James is a Dolphin this year. And Kate will be starting in the Lambs later. Hi.
I'll go after you since James is in my son's class. I'm Deborah DeCruz. I also work in the office, so you probably see messages from me all the time. My son is Joshua DeCruz, and he's a Dolphin. So.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm also a Dolphin mom. I'm also going to spare you from any video openings here, so I'm here. I'm listening. But yes, I'm the mom to be in the Dolphin class.
I'm Lauren Williams. My daughter Lily is a honeybee.
Hey, I'm Claire Lennox, and Sean's over here, and our son Ian is a bunny.
This is Chris and Tara Sears. Our son is Luke, and he is a panda.
Hey everyone, this is Arya and Deepa, and our son Aaron just joined Polar Bears this month.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Katie, and Katie Pittman, and my son, this is our first year at Glenn, and my son Mark Allen is an owl.
Hi, I'm Virginia. I've got Sarah, who is in the Monkeys this year, and two kindergarten graduates of Glenn who are downstairs trying to help each other all go to sleep right now. But if I stay unmuted, you will hear them making, lots of noise. It's not quite happening yet.
Hello. Hi, this is Denise.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, I'm in bed right now.
Lucky you.
Jealous.
Monkey, I have Victor and Logan. They're in Monkey, same as Sarah.
Hi, everyone. We're the Marshburns. I'm Lindsay and Patrick, and our daughter Eliana is in the Dolphins, and Olivia is in Honeybees.
Is there anybody else? Anybody else who feels like introducing? I know I kind of sprung that on you, that I'm so used to Zooms being anonymous, but I do think there's like a great value in actually seeing the parents of kids that are in your class, and it feels good. Well, if anybody else comes in and wants to talk, just feel free to jump in. Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. And kind of as we go to, we left a little bit of time for questions at the end. If you do have a question, can you privately message Deborah DeCruz, and she's going to sort of moderate those for us. If you have one that you feel more comfortable emailing, you're welcome to email Kate and me, or Kate and me and Carrie, or Carrie, or any combination of those, and we'll do what we can to track down the answer for you. Let's see, I've said I'm Ann Ellismeyer and Kate Kaufman. We're the co-chairs. Kate, do you want to talk about the goals for this school year?
Absolutely. So the Parents Council has a few goals for the upcoming year. But our main probably purpose is to work together as parents to support the school, and Ann and I are here to be our kind of point people for that. There are lots of different ways that we can get involved in as parents at Glen, and I think that's one of the things that makes Glen really special is there is a lot of parent involvement, which is great for the school. It's great for your kids to see you helping out. And it's fun because you get to meet other parents, which is great. The Parents Council also helps to kind of facilitate parent engagement. So we'll send out emails, reminders, etc., about upcoming ways that you can help participate in Glen and make this school year run more smoothly. And we've also, over the past couple of years, tried to work on improving communication between parents and the school. So we continue to do that. And then basically working as a way for parents to connect with the school and each other. And then finally, to help work on fundraising for the school. So our two biggest fundraisers of the year will be the Glen sale in the spring and the auction, which is being held in the fall this year. So those are flip-flop from what we've done in the past. So we will touch on both of those a little bit later, but we're here to help you guys have a good year and find ways to get connected. There are many ways, both big and small, to participate. So please don't think, I'm too busy, I don't have enough time, because there are lots of little jobs that need doing that you can easily do from home on the weekends, 10 minutes during lunch, whatever, that make a big difference in some of the things that we're trying to do as a community. So, if you feel like you've seen the volunteer opportunities, but you haven't found one that looks appealing to you or that fits into your schedule, please reach out to me or Ann, and we can kind of hook you up with something that would work for you. So, Ann, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll, give a brief introduction to each of the committees, just for the new parents who this might sound like Greek to. And that's a great thing to follow up with. If one sounds interesting, please email Kate and me, and we'll get you hooked up with the chairperson and get you involved. Because this year especially, it's just feels so strange and kind of untethered, that's a good way to kind of connect to the school, like you said, Kate. I agree. And I'll just kind of move on down the agenda to the air purifier update. So next week is when we expect to have the purifiers in the room. We raised more than $2,000, which is fantastic. And thanks very much to all of you all who have contributed. That was overwhelming, and it definitely helped us to be able to put a purifier in each classroom. We ordered 5 of them from a company, Medify Air. And after our UPS tracking stalled for several days, we emailed them, called them, went back and forth with them. And it turns out their distribution warehouse was in Southern California. So not only was it impacted by COVID, but also by the wildfires. So we've since canceled that order and purchased some just from Home Depot and Lowe's, in which, 2 are supposed to be delivered tomorrow and then 3 next week. So we hope to have those in the classrooms. And I want to give a little shout out to Kelly Granish and Lindsay Marshburn again, because they provided some as well that I think are ready to go. So thank you. And those should be in place next week. And we'll move on to kind of some of the committee reports now. Typically we'll kind of talk about all the committees in our first meeting just to kind of lay it all out there. But this year is so different, and we've moved several events around that we'll talk about, that we're just going to hear from the book fair chairperson, the room parent chairperson, and a little brief update about the auction as well. So I don't know if you're like me, but you're not looking or planning hard dates beyond 2 weeks anyway right now. So I think that we'll wait until the next parent council meeting to get into the other committees, because we'll kind of firm up dates and firm up needs between now and then. But as for the book fair, Jennifer Schweidel is the chair of the book fair, and she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it tonight. So she sent me a little blurb to read to y'all. So the book fair is coming up. So she says, join us for our first fundraiser of the year, the Glenn School Book Fair. We are partnering with Usborne Books to go completely online with our fair this year. Usborne Books are special and unique because they are loved equally by kids and parents. Educational, engaging, and beautifully illustrated, Usborne Books publishes children's books in a wide range of subjects. And the Glenn School will directly benefit from all sales during the book fair. Any books you purchase will be shipped directly to your home. If you would like to shop for your child's classroom here at Glenn, you may search for your teacher's online wish list. The fair will run from October 5th through October 9th. Keep an eye out for more information and the link to shop the week of. So that'll be fun next week to get into that. And she has the volunteers who wanted to participate in this committee. Obviously, we don't need you on site. This is all going to be shipped and virtual. But I think she probably will reach out to those of you all who volunteered to participate in that committee, because she wants help kind of getting the word out and helping with some of the marketing. So heads up for that. And I think if Heather Pinkerton is on here, she was going to give us a brief update about the room parents. She's in charge of that committee this year. So Heather, if you're here, do you want to give us a little update and let us know if any rooms are still in need of room parents?
Well, while we're looking to see if Heather's here, I do want to mention that if you guys want to clear out books to make room for new books, we are also going to be doing a collection of gently used books around the same time. We've done this every year for Child Read. They do awesome work and the books get to wonderful places. So I'm going to be putting something in the newsletter about that. But just a heads up, we'll just take those in carpool. We'll bring the wagon down and collect books. So if you're cleaning stuff out, hang on to it, and we'll collect that right around the same time frame that we're doing the new book fair. So I'll put that in the newsletter this week.
Hi, Anne. It doesn't appear that Heather is on the meeting at this time.
Okay, no worries. Well, I imagine that she'll reach out to the classes individually who are still in need of a room parent. I know we had a good kind of response to that, so I'm not sure which classes still need a room parent, but she'll reach out individually. Thanks.
Great. I think next on our list is Kim with the auction update.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Steiner. I don't know a lot of you guys, but I've been at Glenn for a long time, like 5 years, and I have 2 girls still at Glenn. So we had a great auction planned last year for 2019, 2020 year, and obviously it got canceled. So we've delayed it to be an online auction for November 11th through 13th. Won't be the same, of course. It won't be the same social event with the band and an auctioneer, but I think there are creative ways that we can make this fun and make it an online event still. We have a lot of auction items, but we do need to follow up with all these businesses to see if they're still in business and if they're willing to still donate items, and see if we can extend the expiration dates. We actually need committee members. I think we have 4 people signed up, and it would be great to get a few more members to help. I think we have about 70 auction items that we need to like split up and just call the businesses and check. So we'll take more members, anybody who would like to join in. It's 1 month of work, basically. And it's not like we're planning a big event with a band and dinner and everything. So anything else, Kate, or?
No, I think so. I mean, that's just it. We just need some people to help us make some phone calls, basically. So, you know, if we had a few people, we could all call 5 businesses, which would be better. And these are places that have already agreed to donate. It will not, it's not cold calling or anything, but we just need to make sure that they're still open, and that that anything that they've donated thus far is still valid. And like Kim said, if it had an expiration date, if we can push that out. So I don't think we want to auction off things to businesses that are closed or struggling. So
I do want to mention that I had a meeting with the teachers yesterday. The teachers are going to work with room parents to create theme baskets for each class that we normally do for Family Day. But since Family Day's been pushed to the spring, we're going to still do the baskets, but auction those off. And then each class is going to also create an art project. A couple of classes might merge together and do one for, like the Bears classes may merge for one project, and the toddlers might have one project for both classes. But so those are some of the items that will be in the auction as well.
Carrie, I had another question. Are the teachers still willing to do their little like play dates, or like the pizza party, or? Oops. Did she freeze, or did I freeze? Am I frozen, or is she?
Oh. You're fine. I think we lost Carrie temporarily.
I think couldn't hear.
Really
It sounded like somebody was asking a question.
Oh. Oops, Carrie. Did you hear me, Carrie?
I can't hear. Okay, yeah.
I was just saying,
Can you try again?
Have you talked to the teachers about doing their auction items, like the play date or the pizza party? Because I think that is something we could potentially do, like with a small group of kids. Never mind. We'll talk offline.
Can you chat the question? Because for some reason you're breaking up.
Do you want me to? I'm not on a computer. We'll talk later. We can talk later.
Okay. Okay, sorry. It's just breaking up right now for some reason.
I'm just trying to think of good auction items that did well, and the teacher ones were great.
Yeah. Oh, and so we will, yes, we will do that. I will actually be donating 9, basically babysitting for a year for a school year, basically. So once a month during the school year. And then we may have to change the dates a little bit and push it into the summer. But I donated that last year, and so I'll be donating that again as well. And so I will be talking to the teachers about donating play dates and lunches and things like that as well. We had some of them already donate, so I'll confirm that all of those.
Yeah, those are great items and fun, and it could be a small group of kids. I think everybody would still do those things.
Right.
Okay.
We can do outside picnics and things like that. Yeah.
Right.
And the good news is we still have our sponsors, and now we don't have any overhead, right? I mean, to look on the bright side.
It's true. We've already made some money from the sponsors.
Well, and the
So,
sponsor banner
thank
is
you,
done.
auction
And we'll-
committee.
the sponsor banner's been completed, and it's going to be in the carpool line for the next few weeks, and then we'll put it out on the front of the building closer to the event.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. So like I said, we're not going to talk about every committee and every event throughout the year in detail tonight, because I think it would be a little overwhelming and maybe even a little premature to talk, hard dates, hard and fast dates at this point. We just wanted to run through and just give a brief explanation for any new parents kind of the upcoming events, things to look forward to. Family Day is going to be held in late March this year. Typically it's held right around this time, and it's a great, there's some fundraising element to it, but it's basically like a get together with parents and kids on the weekends at school, at school. And it's a great time to meet other parents of kids in your child's class. So we'll look forward to that in late March. So stay tuned. Transportation City, which is a highlight every year for the children, is going to be in late January this year. And Carrie, you said all plans are to go forward with this. It's easy to separate the kids by pods.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do Transportation City. I think by then I'll be able to get special permission for the parents who need to set up and who need to help work it, because it's not a huge number of adults. It's usually only 3 people per shift to work that, and only, I think 7 people or 8 people to help set up. So we're definitely doing Transportation City. And we'll be doing a lot of pictures and a lot of videos and things like that, so parents can see their kids having a great time doing that.
And just a brief description of that for the new parents is we transform the fellowship hall into a little city, and the kids ride Cozy Coops around. They get a car wash. There's a pizza store. There's a nail salon, grocery store. And I think the kids look forward to it and just have a blast every year. So that'll be late January. I'm sure that the committee will need some volunteers to help with setup and takedown as well. So maybe, we'll talk more about that next meeting as well. Kate, jump in if you want to tee some of these up too. I'm just going down the list.
Yeah, sure. I'll do teachers and staff appreciation. So we have such wonderful teachers at Glenn that we try to do lots of things throughout the year to make them feel appreciated, and to thank them for all the hard work they do with our children. So at Christmas time and our holiday time, we usually do a luncheon, usually held at someone's house. I think we've perhaps discussed holding it at Glenn this year. But that's one way to get involved as a parent, would be to make some food, buy some food, contribute food to that. So we serve them a nice lunch, and there's some kind of treats they get. And I think they all really enjoy that day. And then in the spring, there is a whole week of teacher appreciation with a different activity, a lunch. So room parents bring something to the teachers each day, and so we get some help with that. So we have that to look forward to as the school year progresses.
Awesome. And the Glenn sale, everybody, the 2 words everybody looks forward to or dreads this time of year, 1 or 2. No, just kidding. But typically the Glenn sale is right around the corner in the school year as well. And this is our major, in addition to the auction, our major fundraising event. It's a consignment sale that's usually set up in the church building across North Avenue from the church. it really is an amazing thing to watch, the logistics of it come together. And this year, Anna Mitchum is the chair of the Glenn Sale, and she's been working tirelessly to transition it to virtual sale in the spring. So stay tuned about that. She is still going to need volunteers for sorting and sort of quality control and that type thing, but obviously it's not going to be the setup and the same type of manpower that we've needed in the past. But I know actually, you know, most people kind of say, oh, that's a lot of hours to work, but I've found every time I've met people really nice and had, you know, longer conversations with them than I would have just in the carpool line, and I've gotten to know them and said, okay, let's work the same room next year. And it's been a really good opportunity to meet other parents as well, actually. So hopefully we'll have that same opportunity when the sale is virtual this spring. And communications is another one of our committees. And I think that both Anna Mitchum and Debbie DeCruz have sort of just defaulted into covering this committee for us. If there's someone out there who is technologically savvy, we would really appreciate some help in the communications department. This is keeping parents informed of upcoming parent council meetings, events at Glenn, as well as kind of taking minutes from these meetings. I guess it's going to be a little different this year with helping with the Zoom too, which Debbie has really stepped up for this far, and we're so appreciative, Debbie. So if you're interested in communications, shoot Kate and me an email, and we'll get you hooked up with the right group of people there too. But I think as a whole, we've had a lot of really good responses to volunteers, to volunteering for the other committees. So that is one that we need a little help with. I think that's all we've got for the committee kind of run through. Kate, do you have anything to add?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. Carrie, you want to give us any updates?
Sure. About the communication stuff, in past, we've had this remind thing where people get text reminders in case of weather or whatever. I'm feeling that with the MailChimp and with the Class Dojo, that we don't really need to go there. It was kind of complicated and not everybody signed up. And so I feel like we have, through Facebook and through everything, I think we have lots of ways that we can communicate any kind of urgent messages. So I think we don't need to worry about that if somebody's interested in communications. I'm currently working on a school directory that will be posted on the website, hopefully by the end of next week. And what we'll do is that's password protected, and only Glenn families can have that password. So I'll make sure that that password gets out to everybody in next week's This Week at Glenn, and that way everybody can have access to all the names and phone numbers and emails of people in their classes. I know, Anne, you wanted me to talk a little bit about the parent ambassadors. We had talked about, we've talked about doing this for in the last year, and then of course everything kind of, we all went away in March. But I'm interested in having, I think we have some people that have already signed up, so we'll see how many people we have. But really, I think this year, our tours are basically going to be me having Zoom meetings with people, sending them pictures of the classroom. Jessica Poole is working with us, and we're going to try and create this cool short little video that gives people a sense of what Glenn is. Not really like a tour where we're just taking them from room to room, but really just the feel of Glenn. And then we'll, but I think because parents aren't able to come in the building and really get that feeling, what I'd like to do is use our parent ambassadors to basically be referrals that I can give to new families so that they can call and say, hey, I'm a prospective parent, tell me about your experience at Glenn. And so that's kind of what I would like to use that kind of parent ambassador for this year. So for anybody that signed up that's like, no, I don't want to do that, let me know. But if you if you're interested in doing something like that, please let me know. It's nice to be able to give somebody a parent who's kind of a similar age child. And so they can talk directly, or a year ahead, so they can talk about what the classroom was like for them. The other couple things I wanted to mention was just encourage everybody to do the Class Dojo app on your phone. It's so easy. You don't have to sign in, and it just pops up and you can get your information real quickly. The teachers are really enjoying using Class Dojo. They find it much easier than trying to do Shutterfly, which is what they did last year. And I'm seeing everybody's page. It feels to me like they're putting things on there real regularly. If there's something that you guys want to see more of or less of, please let me know, and I'll talk to the teachers, and we'll try and make sure that you guys are getting what you need. I'm also want to encourage everybody to like Glen School on Facebook. We are doing some communication that way as well. Debbie has done a great job of pushing out interesting articles and activities and things like that. She did this all summer. So it's a good place to kind of get some additional information. What else? Also, if you are not, every Friday, you should be receiving an email from me that's called This Week at Glen. It has a lot of cute pictures on there, and it has a lot of information about school events and things that are coming up. Also, MailChimp is how I'm sending out any COVID updates, anything that's happening. So if you are not receiving those, you need to be in touch with me immediately, and we need to check and see how we can get you on there right away, because that is how I'm communicating the kind of weekly event updates and also information. As everybody knows, we had our first cases the first week. I haven't had any other cases, or you would have heard from me. As kind of disheartening and hard as it was to have a case right at the get-go, I feel like our plan worked. I think parents notified me immediately. We stayed in communication. I was able to communicate with church and the board and the class and the teachers and the whole school wide. So I felt good about that. It was hard, but it was, I think that part went well. It did make me realize that I needed to kind of be a little, just refine kind of our notification criteria. And so I'm going to put this in This Week at Glen on Friday. But essentially, the plan will be that if we have a child in a class who has had a known exposure to COVID and we are awaiting a test, whether they're symptomatic or asymptomatic, we are going to notify that class and all the teachers in the church. We're going to notify that individual class. If we have a positive case, we're notifying the entire school. And in both of those cases, based on whatever information is, we'll make a decision about, are we closing a class? Are we closing the school? Are we moving to phase 1? Are we going to stay in phase 2 and just close one class? I realized very quickly, because we've had kids, parents call and say, my kid was sick last night. My kid went to the ER. They were tested, they were negative. They didn't even have symptoms of COVID. And so I realized that if I email every time we have a kid with a fever, or every time we have a kid that goes home sick or goes to the emergency room, I'm going to be emailing people 4 times a week. And if I do that, then I think when I send something that I need people to pay attention to, nobody's going to see it, or they're going to not read it when it comes out. So basically, I think that those are the 2 main times that I'm going to be communicating very directly with an individual class or classes. If there are siblings, I've got a spreadsheet that tells me which children have siblings, so I can very quickly identify if there is a sibling attached to a class exposure. Or if the teacher share space, we'll be notifying those classes as well. So I'm going to post this criteria. If anybody has any questions or concerns or anything, please email me those questions and concerns. As I've told everybody from the very beginning, this whole plan is it's always going to be changing and evolving, and we're going to make adjustments as we need them. So, but I have to say, I was really overwhelmed by everybody's response when I sent that first round of emails. Everybody's been amazingly supportive. The initial emails were all, what can we do for the families that were impacted? And I've just felt a lot of support, a lot of understanding. We're all in this kind of situation that we can't really control and change right now. But I just love this community because I feel like it was all support. There were questions, of course, and I answered those questions as directly as I could, but I'm just, again, blown away by this whole community. I think everybody has been amazing. The other thing I wanted to say is that this has been the easiest year of transitioning children into classrooms ever. We have had so few criers, which makes me wonder that the whole, like, just dropping them off in carpool works like a charm. I know everybody really missed the opportunity to do the meet and greets and to drop their children off, but the kids are doing amazingly well. And so I just wanted to reassure everybody that, number one, our teachers are awesome. If your child is crying a little bit when they get dropped off, if they're still crying after a little bit, we're going to call you. We're going to let you know how they're doing. I know it feels a little bit disconnected, particularly for some of our new families, not being able to even, some families have not even seen the classroom, which is really difficult. But I feel like I just want to reassure you that our teachers are amazing and that they're going to let you guys know if there's any concerns or any questions that they have. And in the next couple weeks, actually in the next week and a half or so, our teachers will be doing fall telephone conferences with everybody. And even some of the families that have decided to delay, they're going to be checking in with you just to let you know how things are going. So please kind of be on the lookout for that. That should be happening soon. And I think that's all I had, unless Ann or Kate, can you think of anything else that I needed to cover?
Not that I can think of.
Right, great.
No, I want to tell you, thank you again, Carrie, for all the work that you've put into it and the tone that you've set. And please echo our thanks to the teachers too, because I know my daughter's just coming home with a huge grin on her face. Can't wait to go back to school. So the fact that they're bringing joy in this situation is just amazing. So please tell them thank you.
I will. The teachers are doing an amazing, amazing job. I'm just blown away by what they're doing. So, and it's amazing. Those kids are wearing masks like rock stars. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. 100% of the time, only one child who really kind of struggles, has some sensory stuff and struggles with it. Every kid all day, including playground, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and kindergarten are all wearing masks all day long, not complaining. They're having a ball. They're having fun. They're singing with their mask on. Bruce is singing with his mask on. And then the 2-year-olds now, I think we have about 50% of those children wearing it the majority of the day. And we're working really hard to kind of build that and encourage them to wear it. So it's, they have amazed me. It's been awesome. So.
That's great. And you're watching, I know you're watching the numbers weekly and daily and everything else. So you'll just let us know if at any point the phase, I mean, is that just sort of like on a need to know basis that you'll tell us if and when we move to a different phase? Because I know it's real structured with, you know, DeKalb County is different. We're in a different boat, moving different directions, right?
I mean, at the last meeting that we had when we were talking about specifically about COVID, to be honest with you, I feel like now that we're in school, I think decisions are primarily going to be based on what's happening at our school. I mean, barring some major explosion in our zip code areas, our zip codes and the area and the zip codes around the school are still doing exceptionally well. I mean, they're one of the lightest color on the graph, and I am checking them regularly. You know, certainly if there is a mandate from the city or the county or whatever. But to be honest with you, I'm really looking primarily at what's happening within our school will drive the majority of our decisions, be a factor. But I think this community is doing a good job, and as long as we have mask wearing going on at school, I think that we have reduced the risk to children as best we can at this time. There's not zero risk, but I think we're doing a good job of making the risk very low to the children and to the teachers and in the school. So that's kind of where I am right now. And again, that could evolve and change, and any changes, I will notify everybody. I'm not gonna keep anything from you guys. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. Find that balance of not communicating so often and so much that I'm stressing people out or that they're not hearing the important stuff. And so that's kind of what we're trying to find the balance for.
Thanks, Carrie. She might be frozen. Hopefully I'm not too. Before we kind of open it up for any questions, and just a reminder, if you have some, even after hearing Carrie, please private message those to Deborah DeCruz. In the meantime, our next meeting will be November 12th at 8 p.m. And so we'll obviously send out reminders and the Zoom link closer to the time. But in between now and then, we have, just a reminder, we have the book fair, the auction, and look out for either requests to be a room parent or emails from your room parent about how to get involved on a smaller level. Do we have any questions, Debbie?
At this point in time, no, we don't have any questions.
Okay.
We got our first one. The first question is, has the Thanksgiving program been canceled?
I'm back on. Sorry, I got bumped off for a second. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
It has not, well, it will probably look different. It has not been canceled. I think we may do some kind of televised program of some kind and do each class separately. I didn't mention, I don't know when I got cut off if we talked about this, but we're talking about doing something fun for Halloween where the kids obviously come in costume. We'll probably do individual class parades, but we're looking into whether or not we can live stream each class's parade on Facebook or record them and send them to each class. Also, I know that a lot of kids are not going to be trick-or-treating this year because parents are nervous about their kids having interaction with people that they don't know. So we're kind of thinking about maybe collecting candy and creating little candy bags for each of the kids to come home with them. You guys will have to be responsible for checking the candy and make sure that it's stuff that your kid can have. But we're going to send more information out about that. But the Thanksgiving program, we're going to do something. The kids will be in costume. The kids will sing their song, but it may be each class has to go down and do their own song. And we maybe just put it together in some kind of video that we send out to the families. I don't think things will be good enough by November to allow that number of people to come into the building. So that's what I'm thinking right now.
Okay, the next question is if there's an update on when kindergarten day would be bumped to 1 p.m.
As long as we're in phase 2. So for right now, it's going to be for the foreseeable future. I think that the concern is if kids are sitting around eating lunch and they're eating at tables and all of that, they're in close proximity to each other. I think that kind of increases the risk level. And right now I'm feeling good about the fact that we have the risk level pretty low, and lunch takes longer. So they'd be unmasked for a longer period of time than they would if they were having snacks, and we can separate them out a little bit easier with snacks. So we're always looking at it, and we're going to try and get move things on to the next level as soon as we can, but I don't want to push it before we're ready. So I don't have a date yet. And I do think that the kindergarten teachers have already thought about opportunities to maybe do some one-on-one with kids and maybe extend individual kids' days on a 2 at a time or 1 at a time basis, but we're still working on that plan.
And I don't have any questions at this time. That was the last one.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for coming and listening and introducing yourselves. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have questions or want more information on anything that we talked about tonight. And thanks again, Carrie and Debbie, for all that you're doing and moderating.
Thank you all. Please don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions or shoot me an email. I'll get right back with you.
Thank you all so much. We love
guys.
Glenn.
Everyone.
I'm so happy that they get to go. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you all.
It's so good to see everybody and everybody's names.
Yep. Bye, guys.